All right, welcome to Sport Talk on Enterprise TV, where we give you a little of what is happening in the world of sports. Today, we'll be talking about the Super Eagles, and of course, players are in camp already. They are very, very ready for Gabon, coming up November 13, 2025. And of course, we'll be doing the review of what happened over the weekend from the English Premier League to Spanish La Liga, Italian Serie A, French Ligue 1, and of course, in the world of tennis, the man himself, Carlito. Talking about Carlos Alcaraz started really well in ATP finals. If you are joining us for the first time, please do well to follow us across all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. My name is John Alnassr. Join me on Let's Ride Together. Joining me in the studio today is Ironman Bomi Nathan, making a return back to Sports Talk. Ironman, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's always wonderful to be able to talk about sports.
All right, you know how we do it. Charity begins at home, of course. We'll be starting with local football. Guess where we are starting from? From the camp of the Super Eagles. Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell finally has unveiled his 24-man team list ahead of Nigeria's crucial campaign at 2026 FIFA World Cup African Playoff Tournament in Morocco. Let's take a look at the full list. Goalkeepers, we have Stanley Wabali, Amos Obasioge, Maduka Okoye, doing wonderfully for himself in Italy. Defenders are William Truss Ekong, Captain Fantastic, playing his trade in Saudi Arabia. Kevin Bassi has not been in good form, just of recent. Oluwasemilogo Ajayi, Bright Osayi Samuel, Bruno Onyema, Chichudu Awazim also made the Lizaidu Sanusi one of my best players, and of course our best defender right now, talking about Benjamin Fredericks. Midfielders, we have Alex Iwobi, Frank Onyeka, Alazan Yusuf making a return back to Super Eagles. Wilfred Ndidi, Rafael Onyedika, playing his trade in Belgium for Club Brugge. Forwards, we have Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze Dibekubo, Victor James Osimhen, #1 striker in the world. Moses Simon, Chidera Ejuke is also back. And of course, Tolu Arokodare, Ako Adams, Olakunle Olusegun, playing his trade in Russia. Ironman, these are the lists. Who do you think should have made this cut that is not on this list?
For me, I think this is a fantastic team. I don't think we could have added any other player that I can think of the top of my head that is in form at this current moment. Yeah, we have the likes of Taiwo Awoniyi, who is coming back in form, but he's just recovering from a long-term injury.
Yes,
so
of course.
We have to give him time to be able to piece his body back together and get that form that we know he can deliver. Then we can remove the likes of Tolu away from that team and replace him with Taiwo Awoniyi. But for what we have now, I think we have a fantastic setup, and we're looking forward to it.
Because a lot of people have been complaining about the form of Paul Onachu. And of course, Ebenezer, that is playing his trade in Italy, a fantastic young midfielder. Paul Onachu has been banging in goals back to back. And I remember, he was the one that led the Super Eagles in the under Finidi George. He didn't turn up. Maybe that is the main reason why they just have to overlook him.
I think let bygones be bygones. That's my principle. You know, it's football is like that sometimes. The players go up, go down. You can't really judge a player completely. There was a time Messi was doing remarkably well, and Barcelona wasn't just clicking for him. You know, so it happens. And let's take Messi in PSG. We used to say Messi is not a good player, but it didn't just click. So there are seasons like that it happens for a player. So I wouldn't say we should write him off completely, but we should just give him some time. He will definitely pick up. I think he's a sensational player, and I think he'll pick up.
All right, let's talk about the players. They are in camp already. We have like 10 of them in camp. Yes. Moses Simon is in camp. Samuel Chukwueze, the Flamboys, Tolu Arokodare, Olakunle Olusegun are in camp. Do you think this will also motivate the others? You know, because the game is just like in 4 days now. We'll be playing Gabon.
You could see there was a clip that I saw yesterday night of Victor James Osimhen, striker extraordinaire, like I call him. He was saying to the fans that he has to go.
Yes, of course.
That he has a match that he has to. That he's left.
He didn't score in that game. I just feel his mind was not even in that game.
Yeah, he was saying that he left the club football and he's trying to face the national team, that he has a flight to catch. So that's to show you that a lot of people are so committed to this team and they want to try their best to be able to deliver or even show up on time, especially. So if he's setting that example, that tone, it means that a lot of the other team players too would be heading towards that. You know, some of them, because a lot of them are coming from different parts of the world.
Yes, of course.
Some of those flights they will need to catch, some of the private jets they will need to pick, whatever, right? Some of those things take time. So yeah, let's give them some grace. They will be there.
So I am my major concern now is Ademola Lookman.
Yes.
When we played our last game against Benin Republic,
Yes.
he was suspended for that game, and
Yes.
we trashed Benin 4 goals to nothing.
Yes.
Now he's back with the team. We all know Ademola Lookman is not ready psychologically.
Yes.
He has been having problems with Atalanta,
Yes.
even with the new coach, Ivan
Yes.
Juric. And of course,
the old coach.
I mean,
he's been sacked.
yes, of course. Even the okay,
Yes.
all right, that's true, you're correct. And of course, coming back, he might want to start against Gabon.
Yes.
Don't you think it's going to give us a problem?
I don't think so. I think the coach we have now is a fantastic coach. He's going to make good decisions. Of course, he knows that Ademola Lookman is a sensational player, but mentally he's not yet there. It's a tough season for him, but I know if we need him and we need to call on him, he's going to come up. I know that for sure. When it comes to Nigeria, I think he has a separate mindset when it comes to the Nigerian national team. He knows what his job is. He knows how to deliver. And I think him and Victor James Osimhen are trying to work well together because it takes time. They haven't played 20 straight games over the course of weeks together. So it takes some time for players to have that synergy, just like the way Elanga and Hudson-Odoi with Chris Wood had to find the way to click as a unit. So yeah, you have to give them time to be able to play together, to be able to.
What more can we say when you have the best striker in Africa in your team? Talking about Victor James Osimhen, you have the reigning African Player of the Year, Ademola Lookman, and of course Samuel Chukwueze can be on today and off tomorrow. We just hope that against Gabon, you are pleading. Samuel Chukwueze, you definitely work well with, Victor James. They've been together since age grade football, since under 17, and have been working for them. And of course,
I'm not pleading with only Samuel Chukwueze. I'm pleading with the whole team. We have to make it to that World Cup. This is not a hit or miss game. We have to win this game to be able to get there. So not just Samuel Chukwueze, everybody on that team. Even those on the bench, please cheer them on. Let's make sure because it's an important game for all of us.
Yes, of course. All right, let's see how it goes. November 13, the Super Eagles of Nigeria versus the Gabonis. Of course, we are expecting Super Eagles to make it to the World Cup 2026. All right, away from that, let's go straight to the MPFL. It was another dramatic weekend in the Nigerian Premier Football League as Match Day 12 served up surprising results across various centers with Ikorodu City grabbing the headlines following their stunning away victory over Warri Wolves in Ozoro. I am talking about MPFL. Winning on the road is not a joke. Take a look at Ikorodu City. They just went, they won away from home over the weekend. That's a good result for them. Well, last season when they came into the MPFL, they were just dismantling every team. I thought this season they were going to go down, but yeah, they're still up there. They're still in the top 4 as we speak after Match Day 12.
Yes, it's
what can we say about the Ikorodu
City? Lagos team doing very well.
Oh, come on, don't talk about.
It's good to see a Lagos team doing very well in the FPFL because, to be honest, we talked about this some years ago of how we don't have one Lagos team and now we have one back. So please give them credit to where credit is due. I'm happy that they won on the way, but they should keep their heads down because that does not mean that they are the top team in form. So because like we know in football, anything can change at any time. So please, we are rooting for you I am rooting for you. I don't know about John Vasoko, but at the same time, I want to make sure that they are doing a very good job at the level that they are. I know that everything is not in sync for them, but at the same time, I know that they can do it.
Like you rightfully said, they are the only team in Lagos. We just have to support them. All right, still talking about MPFL, and of course, another chaos in the MPFL. Katsina United versus Barrow FC, where a player of Barrow FC was injured. And of course, Katsina have been fined 9 million naira. They've been taken away from the stadium to Jos. They'll definitely be playing behind closed door. When is this team going to stop in the MPFL? The young man always lost his life.
I know. Allegedly. We have to, like I've always emphasized, if we don't have actual footballers, retired footballers coming into the system to be able to help that system, I know it's a great sacrifice. I know it's a big commitment. And I know it's a big job to do. But if we don't start that process now, when will it start? So my biggest solution or biggest advice or suggestion is that we have players who have been in the game. Like kudos to people like Ahmed Musa and Brown Ideye who came back actively to the Nigerian Premier League to come and play in that league. They have my total respect. I never used to rate Brown Ideye as a player, But when he came here, I said, no, that's a different kettle of fish entirely. For you to come back and play in your league, please, kudos to them. So those are the kind of sacrifices that would help to make those teams move from where we are now with all this kind of... We're not saying it doesn't happen in foreign countries, but it's very minimized. But it is because we have active players who are in the scenes of those...
You can imagine someone like Victor James is playing with Barra FC, and now
Yes.
got the goal. Will any fans attack him?
Yes, they would.
They would.
Because football is a passionate thing. You have to understand that it's all about passion. I'm not saying they are going to kill him, but they will not be happy because he's scoring against their opponents. So you have to understand that just like any other team in Serie A or in Fresh League On. So yeah, we can minimize it. That's the goal. We can minimize it. We're not saying it won't happen. We can minimize it.
All right, let's take a look at other results. Nassr United 1, Kwara United 1, Wiki Tories 1, Niger United was 0. The Abia derby ended goalless between Abia Warriors and the Yimba. Wadi Wolves lost to Ikorodu City 0-2. Enugu Rangers defeated Shooting Stars 1-0. Kano Pillars played a goalless draw against Bayelsa. Today's fixtures, 10 November 2025. Queen Khalifa will host Rivers. Remo Stars, let's see whether they will definitely bounce back. They are languishing at the bottom of the table as we speak. They are the reigning champions of the MPFA. They will host Academy Warriors. And of course, Plateau United will definitely play against the king of draw soup in the MPFL, Bendel Insurance. All right, away from local football, let's move straight to foreign football. We'll be starting with the English Premier League, Manchester City. You didn't take anything away from Pep Guardiola. On Sunday night, November 2025, celebrated Pep Guardiola's 1,000th game in management with a statement 3-0 win over Liverpool. Liverpool has been terrible in the past few weeks, to close to within 4 points of Premier League leaders Arsenal. My concern is now about Arsenal. But let's talk about City. 3-0 against Liverpool. What is wrong with Liverpool? They broke the British record. They brought in Florian Wirtz, the best striker in the Premier. Second to Erling Haaland, Isak. They've signed a couple of players.
Yes, they did. They signed quality, but at the same time, quality needs time to synchronize. They brought Isak with so much heavy saga, just like the way we're talking about Ademola having some psychological. It can definitely affect any player, right? If you watch his first interview, he kept emphasizing that it's all done now. I'm here. It's all done now, and that was most of his reply. Just like the way Ronaldo had some issues too when he left Manchester United. So you have to understand that the football game is not just a game of skill; it's a game of mind. So Florian Wirtz too has been battling between injuries before he came from Bayern Leverkusen. So I think you have to just give that team time to be able to sync. I'm not saying that they're not going to be able to pick up the pieces, but they will. It will just take some more moments. And it's not worked a miracle last season, but without those players. Mohamed Salah's form already was consistent. So that team will just need some time to sink.
All right. Of course, let's take a look at other results. Tottenham 2, Manchester United 2. It seems like United are now scoring goals. Well, yes. Of course, they still need to work more on their defense.
Yes.
Everton 2, Fulham 0. West Ham 3, Burnley 2. The most surprising result, Sunderland. And you didn't give Arsenal a chance.
I didn't. No.
You never gave them a chance, and now you started seeing your prophecy.
No, well, it's not a prophecy. You have to understand.
Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2.
Yeah, but you please.
You can imagine Arsenal has not considered in the last 8 games. They considered 2 against a team like Sunderland.
Sunderland spent money to bring in 15 players. 15 players. They are making a statement. We are not going anywhere. And they brought in a rebel as a captain and gave him the he's never played for that team before, and they gave him the captain. They are making a statement. We are not going anywhere. So whether Arsenal, whether Manchester City, whether Liverpool, whether Stoke City, whether Leeds United, it doesn't matter who we face, we are not going anywhere. We have been away from the Premier League for too long. We are back now. We are not going anywhere. So that's the emphasis of that. But let's give congratulations to the man, the myth, the coach extraordinaire, Pep Guardiola. 1,000 games, 700 plus wins. That's crazy. That's a 70% win rate. Please, 40-something trophies. Please, let's not take that away from the man.
All right, and of course, Chelsea defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers. Anytime you expect them to turn up, they will not. But when you didn't expect them to turn up, that is when they will, to all the bookies. I don't. Crystal Palace played a goalless draw against Brighton. Aston Villa defeated Bournemouth 4-1. Brentford defeated Newcastle United 3-1. Nottingham Forest 3-1 against Leeds, and Man City 3-0 against Liverpool. All right, away from the English Premier League, let's move straight to Spain. The big man is back. Robert Lewandowski hit a hat-trick to help Barcelona beat Celta Vigo 4-2 on Sunday night, November in La Liga, and cut Real Madrid's lead down to 3 points. Lewandowski is back.
Yeah,
A fantastic.
I don't think there was ever a debate about his production rate and his ability to score goals. Please, I said it in our last meeting that they have underlooked Lewandowski. They didn't have him in his squad. They didn't have Rafinha in his squad. So now even
the hype boy was also on the score sheet.
he was on the score sheet, but that was after Lewandowski had put in 2 goals. So there is an emphasis on the fact that they need that firepower of both Lewandowski and Rafinha. Hansi Flick was saying that they are expecting Rafinha to come back because they know the importance of this man in that team. So kudos to them. I'm happy that at least they are getting back to winning ways.
And of course, Real Madrid struggled. Played a goalless draw against Rayo Vallecano. They are now 3 points ahead of Barcelona. Should Xabi Alonso be scared?
No, I don't think he should be scared. What I should raise as a concern is how he's going to be able to manage it. Because I don't think he's be able to manage those players effectively. When I mean effectively, there are so many quality that he has. And that was the struggle that Don Carlo was having as well in that team. To be able to use Endrick, to be able to use Rodrigo, to be able to use Mbappe, who is scoring on every second match that you put him in. So, all those things combined with the injuries as well. It's a hard combination for any coach to be able to manage. So I wish him well in that journey, because that will be his biggest struggle. Not the quality, but to be able to manage that quality.
I feel one of their problems that I've seen so far is that holding midfielder. Somebody like maybe Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. They don't have that kind of player anymore in that midfield. And I've said it at the beginning of this season. Break back for Vitinha. Why is it taking them this long?
I think even Vitinha won't want to leave where he is, because it took him a while to be able to get.
Come on, this is Real Madrid.
But I understand what you're saying.
The biggest team in football.
I don't dispute that, but I think he too, he was in the English Premier League. Nobody knew him. He struggled. So when he came to, same case with Merino as well. So you have to give credit to anybody who, when he finds his form, he doesn't want to leave. I thought in my mind when they bought Camavinga, I thought that was why they bought Camavinga. But when they started using him as left back, I became worried.
But for me, he has won it all. Won the Champions League, won the French League, gone back to back. So what else?
You mean Vitinha?
I mean Vitinha.
Well, that is not. There's never a problem with winning more. Why can't he win another Champions League with PSG? 2 in 3. How about that? 2 in 3 years. How about, because obviously I don't think they're going to be able to replicate what they did in Champions League again this season. It will be very difficult because of the kind of injuries they're having simultaneously. So why not more? Why not win? That's the same case with Messi in Barcelona. Why not win one more? So he can decide to win 10 straight French League titles. Why not? Why not?
And
become legend of PSG.
Now let me go back to that Lionel Messi. Ever since he promised the Catalans, the fans, the UEFA Champions League, they've not, but it's okay. It's all good.
But let's not forget Marcus Rashford too. His form has been impeccable since he joined Barcelona. I don't think people are giving him enough kudos. The same way they were insulting him in Manchester United is not the same way they are praising him in Barcelona.
Because you can't compare La Liga to English Premier League.
Well, that doesn't.
In Barcelona, there is a system.
Yes.
If you are an average player, you will still perform to some extent. But coming to English Premier League, playing a team like United, Chelsea, you will struggle.
I won't say that. Adama went there and what happened to him? Adama Traore, that went from Fulham to. And they went on loan too.
Barcelona were in shambles that time.
But that's what you just said.
But right now, Hansi Flick has done so much work at this Barcelona.
100%.
So bring any player from Manchester United, he will perform. Bring Zexi to Barcelona, he will score goals. If Ferran Torres can be banging in goals week in, week out, Fermin Lopez scoring goals, bringing anybody. Because there is a system working for them right now. I'm not saying Rashford is a bad player, but he's not that up, you know, the way you are portraying him, he's not yet.
Okay.
That's my own opinion.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at other results. Eche 1, Real Sociedad 1, Girona 1, Alaves 0, Sevilla 1, Osasuna 0, Atletico Madrid are now scoring goals. Alvarez, another underrated player, in my own opinion. 3-1 against Levante. Espanyol lost to Villarreal 0-2. Bilbao, Athletic Bilbao defeated Oviedo 1-0. Rayo Vallecano goalless against Real Madrid. Mallorca 1, Getafe 0. Valencia 1, Real Betis 1, Celta Vigo 2, Barcelona 4. Away from Spain, let's go straight to Italy, where Juventus, Como, it was just all about draw over the weekend. Italian champions Napoli came unstuck at Bologna on Sunday, losing 2-0 to Serie. The Serie A summit to Inter Milan, who downed Lazio by the same scoreline. I've said it before, once you allow Inter Milan to peak, they always leverage on that momentum. And it's working for them. And of course, ever since Napoli lost KDB, they've been like this.
Yes, it's tough to be able to, just like we're saying with Real Madrid, once there's a hole, it's difficult to fill that hole. I think the problem with Napoli now is that they don't have any Lukaku, they don't have any KDB, right? So they have two missing ends of the pitch that are very, and I'm not saying Rashford Haaland is not a fantastic player, but he's not a Lukaku. Lukaku understands that league. He knows how to go at defenders. He knows, just like Martinez knows how to, he's always against those defenders. So, you know, when you have those two key players missing in a team, it becomes a problem. So I hope they can find a way to fill those gaps, you know, before it becomes too problematic in this season for them.
All right, other result: Pisa 1, Cremonese 0, Como 0, Cagliari 0, Lecce 0, Verona 0, Juventus 0, come on, Torino 0. Parma 2, AC Milan 2, Atalanta lost to Sassuolo 0-3, Bologna 2, Napoli 0, Genoa 2, Fiorentina 2, Roma 2, Udinese 0, Inter Milan also defeated Lazio 2-0. In Germany, Bundesliga, Hamburger 1, Dortmund 1, Union Berlin 2. For the first time this season, Bayern dropped a point against Union Berlin. Frankfurt 1, Mainz 0, Leverkusen 6. They saw it coming. That is why they allow, I mean, I said it before. There's no lights at the end of that tunnel for, Eric Ten Hag at, Leverkusen. This is 6-0 against Edenham. Hoffenheim 3, RB Leipzig 1. In French Ligue 1, Olympique de Marseille defeated Brest 3-0. Monaco 1, Lens 4. Strasbourg 2, Lille 0. Lyon 2. PSG, what more can we say about Paris Saint-Germain? Juan Neves was also the hero against Lyon over the weekend. All right? Away from foreign football, let's move straight to other sports. In the world of tennis, top seed Carlos Alcaraz began his bid for a first ATP Finals trophy with a 7-6, 6-2 win over Australian. Another fantastic lawn tennis player, talking about Alex de Minaur, in their round-robin clash at the season-ending championship in Turin on Sunday, November 9, 2025. Talking about the Carlito, Carlos Alcaraz. You have Yannick Sinner. And of course, there is still the big man himself, Djokovic. I've advised him some months ago, just go and retire. And this racket, it's simple. Because these lads, talking about, Alcaraz and of course Yannick Sinner, they will always trash you any day, anytime. Now he's injured again. Talking about Djokovic. Now it is now left for, Yannick Sinner to win this one if he still wants to be the #1 throughout this year.
I think writing off Djokovic is not a good path to go on.
Who can he play now? Okay, Djokovic and Sinner. Djokovic and, you've seen it in the past. Djokovic and Carlito.
I would just say,
it's better you leave the tennis before the tennis. It's as simple as that.
No, I think you should give.
These lads are not playing easy.
I do agree.
Trust me.
I do agree. I agree with you on one point. 1 point alone. Those boys are doing a fantastic job.
Yes, of course.
They're representing the game properly, and I agree. Now, representing the game properly as of now and consistently representing the game for that duration of time that them Djokovic and all those before him have done it, that's a different question entirely. Now, Alcaraz has been he has been consistent for a couple years now. I can say for the last 3 years we've been talking about him. That's a good representation so far. Now these people did it for 10 years, 12 years. Rafael Nadal's, they all those we talked about them for decades.
Long, yeah.
So now the only representation of that is Djokovic. So if you now say he's not going to be able to come back, and he competed against those people at the top for those many years, I don't think that's a good way to write off such a player. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Right? I think if he can make it back from injury, because sometimes at that age, coming back from injury is a job. Right? If
And
you ask them,
tough.
it's always tough. If you ask them LeBron James, all these people, Ronaldo, they will tell you that that's one of the hardest things to do. It's not to play the game, it's to come back from injury. That's a tough thing. So if he can make it back from injury successfully and make himself at least 80% to 90% fit, not 100%, we would see a different Djokovic. That's my take.
Let's see how it goes. All I know is just chasing that 25th Grand Slam. I just hope this boy.
I'm very sure he will get it.
Okay.
Mark my words.
Okay.
I'll put this on Twitter today so that you guys can know.
You should just pray for,
recovery.
No, you just pray for Carlito to get injured. Giannis
I don't think he will be the problem. I just think his recovery will be the major issue.
I will remind you. That is how much you can take on Sport on Enterprise TV 7. Endeavor to subscribe and click notification bell to get notified of all alerts. Follow us across our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Like, share, and engage on our content with our website at www.enterprisetv.com for all the news you can use, the inclusives, and the live updates. I am man, Bominitan has been given on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
All right, my name remains John Alnassr. See you next time.